This is the intro right here.
This is the intro.
We're about to tell you guys about an adventure.
An adventure with grass and trees and roads and skies of blue.
And nobody arrested and no one crashed. And no one
Close
died.
calls though.
Close calls. So anyway, welcome. Welcome. I got my phone because I wrote down a list of questions so we could keep this sucker on track.
Yeah.
But hey, Miller and I just got back from
Corsa Rally.
That's right.
The exotic or Smoky Mountain Rally.
Yeah, Smoky Mountain Rally.
And had a lot of fun. A lot of good times in this old girl.
Had a lot of fun.
Had a lot of fun.
And if you've watched the previous 3 or 4 videos, we don't know how many it's going to be yet.
Yeah,
but
roughly.
If you haven't watched those, you may want to go watch those first and then come back to the recap.
Yeah, here's a little trailer for it. That's a tight one for sure.
That's what she said.
But yeah, that was really cool. That was a fun little time for sure.
Oh my gosh, and I feel like we needed to do this because one thing that's left out is you can watch the videos of our experience in this car
in real time.
But we don't really talk about some of the intricacies and some of the things that go on
in detail because we're having so much fun. We're kind of focused on the driving and the filming
and
that we don't have
not
too much
getting
time.
arrested and not crashing and all those things.
There's a lot that goes into these rallies that you guys might not see.
So I'm going to start off and just talk a little bit about what a rally is, first of all.
Yeah, absolutely.
So these rallies are pretty neat, and there's a bunch of them out there. There's Corsa, there used to be Crown Rally, which we used to do a lot. There's Gold Rush, there's Gumball. There's all these, and what they are basically is they all occur on public roads.
In Mexico.
In Mexico.
Yeah.
No. But anyway, I mean, really, a lot of these rallies are for a good cause. A lot of them raise a lot of money for charities.
Absolutely.
I know when we were on Crown Rally, majority of the funds would go to like Children's Hospital in Greenville, South Carolina. So that was kind of neat. Basically, it's a way for guys like us to go enjoy our cars, and they're generally very large entry fees, and your entry fee includes all your hotel stays,
all
the
the
your
food,
meals, lunches and dinners. There's some after party events and stuff like that. So for the most part, everything's covered.
Absolutely. I mean, and plus you get to go to these crazy locations too.
Crazy locations.
Nicest hotels in each city. So.
And some of the most incredible driving you've ever seen in your life.
Oh yeah.
And then there's camaraderie between people, especially people you've never met. I mean, you're all sharing a passion, so we're going to talk about that. I think we ought to jump in.
All right. To read the first question.
And if you're interested, by the way, in Corsa Rally and you have a supercar, because some of these rallies do limit the types of cars that can come for a reason. I mean, because there was a Mustang, there was a GT500.
GT500, yep. Absolutely.
Like I mean, it's a great car to take. We did our introduction, and what I want to ask Miller, I'm going to let Miller start this off, is what was it like from a passenger perspective?
Okay, so as a passenger, not just a regular passenger, a passenger who's filming. So I'm also trying to enjoy it and get the shot. It can be sketchy. I mean, to put it the best way, it can be sketchy.
Wait, you mean it was sketchy driving in a 2005 no nanny, no traction control car through the Blue Ridge Mountains?
You know, honestly, I have a newfound respect for this car and how it can handle around the curves. We took it on the tail of the Dragon for one of the days, and just the way it hooked up and the heritage with the drivability of this car that came from the older cars. Yeah. They designed a car that looks like that car, like the old GT40s, but they also designed one that performs like it as well. And so it was really cool to see how well this car held up and how well it performed over the weekend. And we had a lot of fun on the first day of getting it up to speed. This thing was so planted. Like, they seriously designed a very well put together car, and riding in the passenger seat was very fun and comfortable.
It was very well, yeah. And as some of you might not know, but I own two 1960s Superformance GT40s, which are basically real modern GT40s, and they go in the historic registry with the original cars, all this stuff. So he's experienced both of those.
I picked this one for the rally for sure.
You did.
For sure.
He made sure before I left the rally, he's like, we're really taking the 05, right? We're not taking that.
Not again. Don't do it to me again.
But, you know, this car is still out of the box in 05, supercharged V8, 550 horsepower. It does 0 to 60 in 3.3 seconds.
It's crazy.
But it's got none of the modern amenities, no traction control.
We're on the brakes and it's locking them up. You know, it's raw.
And you probably felt from the passenger seat, me building my confidence in the mountains, because this is only the third or fourth time I've really driven hard in the mountains, especially Teledragon. So my confidence was building as I really felt out what this car's capable of.
Absolutely. It performed amazingly.
And there were also some moments where I looked over, I'm like, are you sure?
Oh yeah, no, I was holding the camera, looking through, I mean, it felt like a video game, to be honest. I mean, just holding the camera, like looking at the road, looking at the camera, make sure I'm getting a shot. I mean, I think it's going to come out really cool. So.
And when I'm talking about this, so Tail of the Dragon, if you don't know, is what, 11 miles?
319 curves.
Yeah, and that was like one of the main events. Now, granted, Blue Ridge Mountains has some of the most gorgeous driving in the world.
Most beautiful, yeah.
Country for sure.
Yep.
And there's these long sweeping turns. So Tail of the Dragon is not the only one, but it's the most famous. And it's pretty technical.
Oh, absolutely.
So, I mean, there's some times where we were coming out of a 15, like we're on the brakes hard, in a turn, 15 mile an hour turn, and coming out going up to 100 miles an hour.
Yeah.
Dip. Okay, cool. I see it. I made your dip. I'm gonna take you out of the turn. So
jumping right back into another one. And there were a couple moments, that's when I was looking at you like, are you sure you're good at this? And he's like,
he's driving harder. He's like, oh, okay, I can push it a little farther now. Yeah. No, but it felt really safe. I mean, I felt like if anything were to happen, we're in a well-built car.
Well, very well built car.
Very well built. I mean, we're going to be safe. So, I mean.
I hope so.
Yeah. I hope so.
okay.
Probably safer than the GT40s.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. But.
And then as a passenger perspective too, not only the driving part, what was it like being on the rally as a participant and passenger? Because at nighttime we weren't really filming.
Right.
And how was it like with the people and the events and stuff like that? What was your take? The hotel stays?
So the hotels were very, very nice. The dinners were very, very nice. And it was really cool to come in. I did come in a day later, so you had met some rally participants and stuff like that. But I came in a day later, and you know, we got dinner, we walked outside, looked at the cars, and you know, already we're having a Ford, we have the GT 500 guy's coming up to us, another guy's coming up to us talking about the Ferrari that we're standing next to and stuff like that. So it's very easy to sort of like get to know people on this rally, and they're very inclusive, very like, because they had some of them had been on the rally for a few years, some of them had been on it, had done 20 plus rallies, and some it was their first time like us.
One guy said he's done like 34 or 54.
That was a Lamborghini guy, right?
Yeah.
He was super nice as well. So like it was really
Greg,
cool.
if you're watching, you know exactly.
Shout out to you. Yeah.
You can correct me in the comments on number of rallies, but it's a lot.
It's over 30, and it was just really cool because like they all know they all know how to include people because they get new rally leaders every time and stuff like that. And it was really cool. And then, you know, Thomas, the organizer of Corsa was beyond nice.
Throw a rally.
Yeah, absolutely knows how to throw a rally.
It was epic.
It was the routes.
Knocked out of the park. But listen, this is what's really cool. I'm going to jump in for a sec because we talk about community. You brought up community a lot.
The fellowship, yep.
We all have a love for cars. We all have a love for driving our cars, and that's what also sets the rallies apart from the car scene in a way, where a lot of people in the car scene love driving their cars too, don't get me wrong, but we love driving cars.
Driving the cars.
Like we did 1,193 miles in, well, really it was 3 days with you, 5 days total, so I drove it from here. But that's what a lot of people, they get on these rallies and they're putting a lot of miles on these cars.
Expensive cars.
And but we all share that passion. So it's very easy to go up to a table and sit with someone that financially might have a B in front of their name. You just don't know.
Yeah.
We're all just hanging out. Absolutely. And you don't really care.
No, and there's no label on, like, you're a part of the group, and so there's no pressure. There's no like, oh, I'm going to go up to this guy who owns this $1 million car right now. And it's like, oh no, he's on the rally too. Let's go talk to him. Let's figure out, you know, not let's figure out who he is. Let's talk to him. Let's see what he did for his success. So it's really cool to like meet those kind of people in the rallies.
Amazing. Well, and I'll give you another story example. So about community, and you want to and it's funny because once you get close with these people, even driving experiences, oh shit moment, all this stuff, it brings you closer.
Oh yeah.
These people you've only known for a few days. So like one guy came up and he's like, hey man, we'd love to have you come down to an event in Florida. But he's like, dude, by the way, we have jets. And I was like, oh, you have jets?
He's a plane concierge, right?
Well, yeah, so I'm going to Disney World next year. And he's like, do you want us to send a jet up to pick you and your family up? I'm like, what?
Yeah.
I mean, it's like weird stuff that
it's cool.
Remember, I'm like the little kid that, my dad's really ill and we don't know where our next meal's coming from half the time.
Yeah.
And now fast forward, this community and these people that I never thought I'd be surrounded with.
And I mean, what you're kind of like, what we're kind of dancing around right now is the networking.
The networking.
The networking is worth it.
By the way.
Yeah.
So we're gonna cut her. We'll cut her out of the back.
No, we're gonna put you in. We're zooming in. Oh, can I hold my coffee?
Oh,
sweet.
His 4-shot coffee.
Oh yeah. How many shots does this have in it?
They refunded me. It was gonna be 6, but
6 shot.
I didn't mean to.
I'm not sleeping tonight. I'm getting all the videos done.
We're not letting him drive anything either, if that's the case.
Yeah. So okay, here's a funny story. Vinny, I told Ashlyn a lot about the rallies and stuff like that, and Vinny was like, "Yeah, we were going 600 miles an hour," and Ashlyn was like, "You did what?" And Vinny just ratted me out, but it's okay.
Yeah, I did. I'm sorry. So since she already knows about that, so let's talk about that for a sec. So there's also a component to the rallies. We won't tell you how fast we're actually going, but
do you kids have any idea how fast you were going?
Was it too fast?
There's a component to the rallies where they have police escorts. And what happens is, like, Tom has a good relationship. We're not going to throw anyone under the bus. So it was very tame, actually.
Oh, it was.
Night 1, we stayed at the Waldorf Astoria in downtown Atlanta.
Beautiful hotel.
Phenomenal hotel. The food, the atmosphere, the rooms, right?
Yeah, the cheeseburger.
Oh, the cheeseburger. It was so good. So we're the morning of launch, and this one was a little bit of a quieter launch. Normally the launches are very like public, and there's hundreds of people,
confetti and smoke, and yeah.
This one was a short rally, so they kind of downplayed the launch.
Yep.
Plus it's downtown Atlanta.
Yeah.
Now there were 2 cops, or 1 cop for every 2 cars. They got hired.
Yeah.
So they shut down all of downtown from the Waldorf all the way to the freeway. And then they shut down the freeway completely for 10 miles.
Yep.
We had all 6 lanes to ourselves.
It was crazy. And how many?
Crazy.
40
The
supercars.
speed limit was crazy.
Yeah, the speed limit, 70 mile an hour was never crossed.
Yeah, and what was cool though, I think we have some footage from it that they got that we could insert, but like, it was a Lamborghini Urus that had
the camera car.
And they're taking footage. All of us just ended up, I guess, kind of naturally lining up. So imagine like the supercars, and I guess you're watching it right now, and just like the sounds from it, and the like, it was like a flock of.
It was an orchestra. It was just it was just an orchestra of like the most beautiful sounding cars known to man.
And another thing is, a lot of these rally guys, especially guys that have been driving in rallies or driving in packs of supercars, everybody just knows how to drive together.
Oh yeah, and that makes a world of difference. There's not one person who's like 17 and what is the car? A G35 trying to drift in between. Yeah, no offense, but it's
like a flock of birds.
It's controlled, yeah. Oh yeah, flying V formation and everything.
It's controlled chaos for sure. But everybody knows how to like slow down for one another, let them in. If you're kind of, once the police escort clears and you're on the actual highway, everybody knows how to just drive together and look out for each other.
Absolutely.
It's unbelievable. Now also on these rallies, we have a lot of the guys, because they also have these setups and they do a lot of rallies, a lot of people have crazy equipment built into their cars.
Yeah.
That
we met.
help with all of that.
Gosh, yeah, we met a car. Not gonna tell you what car on the rally had this, but there's a car with a laser jammer, a radio jammer, like a K-band.
He might have just had like a jammer badge on the back of his
I think,
car.
yeah, he had. I mean, you could not see if you shined a laser on that car, it would just be fuzzy. Like you wouldn't be able to see the car on the laser. Like it's crazy.
Crazy. I mean, these guys go
some high-tech stuff.
These guys go pretty deep.
Yeah,
and then some people you'll see on rallies have like computer screens in their cars, that link to all of that stuff, including other detectors and stuff, that actually map out what's going on.
That's crazy. And police scanners too.
Oh, it's insane.
The whole walkie-talkie
I've
thing.
looked, and not on this rally as much, but on other rallies I've been on, I've looked in cars and been like, is this a cop car? No.
It's
their literal
cop
rally setup.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And you know, we share this stuff because this is a whole different world.
It is.
And it's a whole different experience than just driving with your buddies on the road.
Yeah.
Like it's very
organized.
well planned and organized.
Absolutely.
Let's go to some of the driving we did, because one of the other things I love is, so we started at the Waldorf Astoria in downtown Atlanta. We made our way to Asheville to the Grove Park Inn, which if you don't know what that is, look that
Beautiful.
up. It's unbelievable. And then we ended at the Tennessean in downtown Knoxville, Tennessee, which is a great little town.
Great.
But what we did in between was we must have done 700, 800, 900 miles of mountain driving.
Oh, absolutely.
The Blue Ridge Mountains are unbelievable, and it's
Unmatched.
fall.
Yeah. Oh, so the trees were changing colors, and it was just the most beautiful sights. I mean, literally the perfect weekend to go up.
What's your favorite moment from the rally?
Oh my gosh, there's so many good moments. I really think when you kept asking me if you going fast on the Dragon was okay, that was my favorite one, because I'm like, yes, I'm fine. Let's go. Like, I was like, all right, yeah, no, you're good. I'm trying to film and stuff like that. I think that was my favorite, because you're like, are you sure? Like, you were really surprised by that moment. But I love the Tail of the Dragon. I love the adrenaline.
It was the first time I really was pushing this car harder than I have before up there. To an extent. Like, I'm not pushing the car to its limits by any means.
No.
We had a couple of parts where we were splitting some tires. Turns, but it wasn't like, it didn't feel unsafe either. But still, if I was a passenger riding while I was driving it, I would have been uncomfortable.
Yeah, you would have. That was the equal to you riding Brad side by side for me.
Exactly.
I live for that type of driving, so it wasn't too bad for me. I'd say that or the highway pools was fun.
When the cops shut down the freeway from Atlanta was probably one of my favorite moments.
You think so?
Just because it was the camaraderie of all the cars that we already showed you, and then the freedom. Because they shut down every on-ramp and exit.
Yeah,
and
for 10 miles.
Like, when in your life do you get to experience something like that? I mean, honestly, I think that's a pretty good recap. I think we kind of nailed all the points. It's an experience like no other. If you ever get the opportunity to go on a rally, especially a really high tier, well-organized rally, I would consider Corsa one of the best rallies in the world.
Yep.
They do an international rally. They have Italy next year. I really wanted to go, but I just don't think I can make it work.
Yeah. They do West as well.
They do West, which is the one we're going to talk to Tom about today.
Yep.
And if you ever get the chance, do it.
Yeah.
Because it's an experience like nothing else.
Absolutely.
For a car guy.
Oh, it's unlike anything else, yeah.
By the way, CorsaRally.com. I think it's CorsaRally.com.
Oh.
We'll find it and put it in here.
Yeah, we'll put it right there, Casey.
Yeah, right here. I like how Sarah did that in her video.
Oh, yeah.
Where she just pointed all over the place.
And I put the name over there,
putting them everywhere. I love that.
That was pretty good.
Is there anything else that you can think of aside from what we talked about?
I don't know. Something I also liked. I remember my favorite moment. And I was a little tired, and you were too. But I don't know, do you know what I'm talking about? Do you remember what a good moment when the rally was? We were at the Grove Park Inn. And I just remembered it because it was such a cool moment.
I remember a lot of moments at the Grove Park Inn.
So we were so tired.
Was it the morning?
We were hungry. No, it was in the evening. We were so hungry. We were trying to go to the car to put some stuff in the car.
Yes.
And we were outside walking out to the parking deck, and about 4 or 5 young guys came up to us.
Turned into like 10 plus.
And it turned into about 10 because they all came in and stuff like that. And they called their friends and stuff like that. And we were showing them around the cars. And just like a kid came up with a camera and was like, hey man, and I was like, oh, nice camera. Like, we really got to talk. And like, he was like, hey, I'm just starting out. Like, what do I do? And just being able to speak into their lives. And Vinny was giving them advice on, realty and, just what you do professionally and stuff like that.
Not listening to the mainstream media.
Exactly.
Like,
all that kind of
yourself.
stuff. Yeah.
These very, I don't want to mention names of these people that speak this stuff these days because YouTube doesn't like them.
Right.
But they're not wrong in many ways.
Absolutely.
But just being able to pass on to young men how to approach their life, to build their life up.
Yeah, it was so cool. And you could tell they were taking it in because they loved the cars. They want to be in this position one day. And it was really cool because they valued what you had to say.
And that's
that
good
really
because
cool.
there's a lot of people that think they know it all. even at a young age.
Yep.
And that stops them from becoming successful later in their lives.
You have to take that advice.
You have to.
Seriously.
If there is someone that is in a place in their life or you want to be one day, you need to listen to that person.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And watch what they do, and don't follow it exactly, but you can definitely go, pave your own route. But
absolutely. But yeah, I think that's a good recap. If you guys have any questions about rallies, put them in the comments. Anything else you want to know about, any other stuff you want to see on the channel going forward, put it in the comments. We read the comments.
Absolutely.
We may not respond to all of them, but we read them all because we want your input. We want to bring you the content that you want. And you're going to see a lot more of this guy on the channel. We like doing stuff like this. We have a lot of fun together.
And if you guys want to meet us, I mean, we'll announce the next rally we come on, so you guys can come out. If we're coming to your city or passing through, we'll stop by and see it and stuff.
We don't want to make a big deal out of this one.
Yeah.
We kind of wanted to fly.
This one we wanted to see and test the car and that kind of thing. But hopefully with Wes next year, maybe overseas, we'll come see you guys.
Well, and we have some friends in Italy.
You got some family,
Definitely for the United States folks, West Coast is going to be awesome. I think it starts in Vegas.
Awesome. You can go swear.
And it does 10 days.
Oh, that's a long one.
Vail, Colorado, like all these awesome places.
Oh, cool.
Oh yeah. So
Ashland, you hear that?
Yeah. Well, we're trying to actually get. Anyway,
we'll talk about
it.
Yeah.
Let me talk to Tom first, and we'll talk. All right. Anyway, thank you guys for joining us, and we'll see you next time.
Sweet. See ya.